Hello, my name is Jillian Joyce Kaufmann and I am a lecturer here in the School of Communication at ISU. I primarily teach Comm 110 or Communication as Critical Inquiry, and I love teaching that class. I've taught several different types of sections, so I've taught honors classes, Success 101, which is for first generation college students, Comm 110-01, which is for students who would like to teach at the K-12 level, and in all of the classes, I often have students who come in who say, I'm so scared of public speaking. I think I'm going to hate your class. How do I get out of here? And every semester, one of my very favorite things is watching a student come in who is nervous and scared of public speaking and anxious about themselves as a communicator, and getting to the end of the semester where all of a sudden they've realized that they've conquered a fear that they had and they're ready to go out into their other classes and express their ideas. So that is the main class that I teach, and I love it. My degrees are from two different schools. So I have my bachelor's degree in communication with minors in marketing and journalism from a school in Southern California called Azusa Pacific University. And that was awesome. I had a lot of great opportunities and experiences there. And after graduating, I worked in the fields of public relations and advertising. And then I did project management at a web development company. And those were all great experiences. But my dream job was teaching in higher education. So I decided to get my master's degree in communication from ISU. Currently, I am working on my doctorate in teaching and learning from ISU, and I should have my doctorate in May. So I'm not Dr. Kaufmann yet, but we're working on it. All right, let's see what these other questions are. What does a typical session look like? Well, currently I'm recording this in fall 2020, so we're online, but during a non-pandemic, my class is very interactive. I do not lecture too often. I don't view my students as people who I'm in charge of filling with knowledge. Instead, I think that my students are responsible for bringing in their thoughts and ideas and personal experiences. And my job is to create a collaborative experience where we can learn together. So that is a setting that really works well for me, and I think for my students as well. As a researcher, I am really interested in learning more and researching about accommodating students with disabilities. Specifically, I am interested in how we as instructors in higher ed can work with students who have mental health concerns. As a Comm 110 instructor, I often have students come to me and talk about concerns that they have with mental health, and specifically their own mental health and how that influences their academic lives. And so my area of interest is what can we do as educators to better work with that population of students. All right, what advice would I give for an incoming communication student? My advice would be to try things that seem intimidating. When I got my master's in communication at ISU, I think one of the most helpful things that I did was find instructors who had similar research interests as I did and ask them if I could work with them. I think that sometimes reading about research and reading about communication theories or concepts on paper doesn't always make as much sense as when you're actively doing research. It makes it come alive. So even though it might seem intimidating, I think going outside of your comfort zone and asking instructors if you can work with them is the #1 piece of advice that I would give. A fun fact about myself. Let's see, in the last year, I got married to just the best person and we bought a house. So that's a pretty fun fact. But my go-to is that a couple years ago I went skydiving, and I am a huge baby when it comes to heights, and I did it and it was so fun. So if you are ever in a space where it's safe and you can, I highly recommend it. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye.